G'day guys, Butcher Jerd here. We're here with a big old blade. Big banjo. So it's got the shin on top of the blade, bowler blade, all the rest of it. It's all here. So what I like to do is I like to start behind the elbow, just like that. And I go up till I'm on the bone. My knife is on the bone the whole time there. I'm running along that femur bone until I sort of hit a lump. And that lump generally is the that cup joint there. So it's the end of the femur bone, which in that case I can turn out, back around, come back over the top of it, and pop it open a bit. And then it's just a matter of working it open. We're in a really dicky spot today. We've got this big private body down here, so it's a farmer's body we're cutting up for him. It's about 400 kilos, so it's been cut into 8 instead of 4. We're down the back because it didn't fit in our main cool room, so we've got benches that don't really hold their own. The benches are wibbling, wobbling, not staying on the stainless enough, and it's a bit of a setup. There's no light in this room, so we've got the door open. Anyway, this is the bowler blade. See that fat line there, that white line? That is where we usually go down. So I like to line up the cup joint with the bottom of the blade, just so I nail it and knock it off. Probably one of the most underrated roasts. They are so good. So we're just trimming off all the excess. Usually what I do when I'm rolling this, I suss out this corner here because there's always a big tough spot there. There wasn't really on this one. This is a petite tender. In itself, it's actually a really good, relatively unknown steak. It's not too heard about yet. It is in the States, but not everywhere is America. So we trim the fat off it, and then we're going to run all the silver skin off it, which there is a fair bit. So with the rest of the bowler blade, I like to take the silver skin off, and there's a bit of fat. You can't really see, it's just off camera, but there's a bit of fat there in the thick end. I like to scoop that out as well. So then when I roll it, I get a nice even roast, and just opening the door so I get some more light. Lachlan just came through and got something to, I don't know, vac or something, and anyway, stuffed this up a little bit. So, pulling all the silver off. There's a good bit of marbling here. It's a nice little steak. So we'll trim that up. Then your other part of your blade over there. So the whole thing, say the bowler blade and that, is called a clod. And then separate, I don't know, usually it's called a cross-cut blade, because back in the day, usually butchers just cut it from one end to the other like a T-bone. You just went bang, 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 gone. So, we'll take the undercut off. Flat iron. Well, can turn into flat iron. You just got to basically take the silver off. Not too hard. So we'll do that. Usually cut it in half. Off memory. No, that's the other part. So, undercut, we'll trim it up. But the flat iron comes off the oyster blade, which is the big muscle, which we'll be removing next. I'm a little bit frazzled. I actually didn't have time to do the voiceover on this video before I pick up my kids. But me being me, I decided to do it anyway, so I'm making a couple mistakes. Anyway, we'll clean up that undercut. Nice and presentable. Move everything over a bit. And the oyster blade. So the oyster blade is when it's full, and then when you cut it down in half, running along the tendons, that's when you get your flat iron steaks. Which I didn't do on this video. I should have actually done flat irons. That would have been a good little demo. But didn't do it. So, what I like to do here is just clean it all up as we go, make sure we're not leaving too much meat behind. You can see that bit there. What I usually do is I put a hand there and just feel where it is, because there's a bit of bone juts out at the top. So I like to come in and down and around. Same again, in, down, and around. And we're just trying to free up the sides of the bone. So when we flip it over and mark the backbone of it, there's nothing else holding it on. Once the bone's separated there, separated from the middle, we can just knock it off. So I like to feel around, try to find where that bone is. You can usually feel it with your hand, or if you're a bit unsure, there's just a bit of hard fat here, like there's nothing to it. So take it off and see there, that white line, that's where that bone's sitting. So one side of this dips out and one side dips in. So usually I do, what do you call it? They call it chuck tender. Chuck tender is what the wholesale market calls this cut. Back in the day, we just called it the donkey dick because, that's what it looked like. So we pull it off. Got a bit of fat on it. Nice, easy one. You can run your knife just straight along there. There's a seam there. And then you can literally just pull it out. Look at that. Woo, woo, woo. Off it comes. And there's your little donkey dick or your chuck tender. Good diced, good casserole meat. Not much good for anything else. Casserole meat and mince. Just tough. It's just a bit tough. So, put that off to the side. Then we've got our oyster blade. So that side is the side that dicks out. It's that backbone. It flows out that way. or shoulder blade bone, whatever you want to call it. I don't know why I'm calling it a backbone because I'm not thinking too straight today. I'm a bit of a frazzled day, I've said that. Anyway, separate the fat, that sausage now, bang, 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 happy days. And the other side dips in of this shoulder blade. So one side dips out, one side dips in. So you're cutting towards yourself a bit, and you just want to be really careful, you know? So we're on a rickety-rockety bench with a big cow that is really set. It's been sitting there for 3 weeks. It's a bit hard. So we're just trying to find the edge of that bone, and we can come in and angling the knife towards ourselves, which is always a fantastic idea. We run down nice and hard against that bone. I like to come back up and scoop this top bit around the cup. If it's a different beast, like usually we have a 240 kilo cow, which is about half this size, and you can manhandle it a bit easier. Like this was a bit of a bitch to rip, but rip it we did. Clean as a whistle. Not that clean. Anyway, pull it off. There's our oyster blade. They can get cut out in steaks like that. Or what's popular in America is they get them done as flat iron steaks. Or here, I mean, honestly, we just lob it in the mincer and get rid of it. But casserole, a little roast on the back end where the sinew dies away is really good. It's like at the front end around that cup joint, there's a real heavy piece of sinew. And then the back half of it tapers off to nothing and disappears. And it's more of a gelatinous feeling. And it's really, really good. It's actually really soft, which is why flat iron steak is actually really, really good. Doesn't sell much here, but it's a decent bit of meat. See, there's that, bit of sinew I was talking about. So if you're doing flat irons, you run on the bottom side and the top side of that because it flows all the way down like a spider web. And you just get rid of it. Anyway, I've got about 10 more videos of this body banked up, so I'll start putting one out every day. Follow us if you want to see them all. And after done this body, I'll get back into more different content besides beef. But yeah, it's beef for probably maybe a week's worth of videos. So we got butts, we got everything. So follow along and give us a shout out. Tell me what you want to see. We'll make it happen. Have a great day.